Everybody? Hey, thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of KaneSaid. Y'all know my slogan, baby. The fame is free, but the grind costs. So I got a special guest in the house today, baby. I got a special guest, man. That's my dog. That's my sis. And we're going to talk today, man. Now, how you doing?
I'm great, man. How are you doing?
Man, I'm chilling, man. Let the people know who you are.
Christian Shakespeare, the one and only trainer and extraordinaire.
Yeah, let's go, man. Man, that's what's up, man. But listen, man, I thought it was super important, to have you on this show, man. I've been watching your grind for a minute, you feel me? You've been doing your thing, man, and I want you to let the people know your story, dog.
Man, so much respect for you, man, and so proud of you and just seeing how you flourished over the years and such, myself, you watched me flourish over the years. I started with Benet, was introduced to fitness back in 2006.
Okay.
Been an athlete my whole life. So this is nothing that's new to me. Played ball for most of my life since age 5 and played in college at Talladega College and transferred to Lawson State.
Okay. Oh, hold on. Hooper? You was a hooper?
Yes,
hold up. Now, come on. Give me some more of that story. Now, you was hooping?
Oh, yes. I was hooping. Coach Arrington Mackey actually discovered me playing AAU ball for the rec. If you familiar with the rec basketball, you already know Coach Mitch and all them, Coach Greg, those were my people. I went to Bethlehem Temple, Christian school my entire time. I never went to public school, so I was always in the Christian school.
Okay.
Humble beginnings, very humble beginnings, spiritual background. A lot of family members, 8 brothers, 4 sisters. I'm number 9 out the crew.
Shut up.
Yes, sir.
So the baby?
No, number 9 out the crew. 13.
Time out now. Let me get my mouth. Let me carry the 1. Okay, I'm with you now.
Yeah,
number 9 out the crew.
Number 9 out the crew, man.
Okay.
Very close family, tight-knit family. We love each other. We fuss, we fight, we bicker, but it's all love.
It's all love in the day.
All of us are go-getters, entrepreneurs. All of us are grinding to take care of our families and provide for ourselves and each other. Like I said, I started with Benet back in 2006.
Shout out to Benet.
Benet Bowler, the one and
Benet.
only. She's out in Atlanta now, and she's doing some even more big things. Shout out to her. I love her forever. We'll continue to give her mad respect because of what she did for me, what she introduced me to that has allowed me to flourish into the person that I am today.
That's what's up.
She saw something in me that, I didn't even see in myself at one point in time. And I tell everybody all the time, she saved me from a dark place. I had lost my father at the age of 15.
Okay, sorry to hear that.
Very young. He was only 46 years old to respiratory heart failure. 5 years later, my sister passed. So I was in a very dark place. And when she passed, I was actually going into my 2nd year of college.
Whoa.
So kind of got a little lost along the way. And while that happened, my mom got very sick.
Okay.
A couple months after she passed, and it was just a devastating time, man.
Back to back.
I didn't know whether I was coming or going, dog. On top of my sister passing and my mom going into the hospital, my mom's mom, who's my grandmother, ends up passing 6 months after that. So, and the day after that, my grandfather passed after her.
No way.
So it was things happening that was just taking its toll on your girl. And my cousin Nikki, shout out to Nikki. She's out in Birmingham right now. I love you to death, and I am so grateful. She introduced me to Benet.
Okay.
She was like, girl, I've been working with this trainer. You got to meet her. And I was skeptical at first, but she knew I was trying to get into modeling because my desire was never into fitness. I was trying to get into modeling. I had been hearing for so many years, girl, you so tall and you so cute. You should try and, model. So I really wanted to do it. But every time I would get in front of somebody, they would be like, you're so cute, but you're not the size that you needed to be. They wanted you to be pencil stick skinny, you couldn't have the curvy body because that thing wasn't in back then, you know what I'm saying? Now it's in, but it wasn't as respected as it is now as time has progressed, So with that being said, I tried it. I tried out for America's Next Top Model.
Really?
Man,
how was that? Give me that, man. Give me that, man. Yo, my kids, I'm going to tell you if you know or not, my kids, mom.
I auditioned the same year with her.
Shut your mouth.
Funny as hell.
Shut your mouth.
Yes.
Really?
I know who she is.
Okay.
I did audition the same time with her. I did not make it as far as she did, but I was very envious of the fact that she made it far.
But give me that experience though. Talk about that real quick.
Dog, that was an experience, dog. I went to Shout out to my brother-in-law, first off, Eric Hilson, who was the one that went with me, took me out there, stood in line with me for 6.5 hours. 6.5 hours at Lenox Mall. It was over 5,000 females there.
I remember that Lenox Mall.
For that show.
Yep.
By the time you got to the front of that line, not only was your feet swollen from standing in line in heels, because they wanted you to stand in them heels for a long time, man, I promise you, you was only in front of that camera 10 seconds. You had 10 seconds to give them the quickest.
6 hours. But you don't get the 10 out there.
Boy, 10 to maybe 15 seconds. Tell them your name, where you're from, and why you here. Walk back, forth, peace out.
That's
and I'm going
it.
to see if I'm going to call you.
That's it. Bottom line. But yo, so when you, so when you left out of there, did you feel like, I think I'm gonna make this thing?
Man, you know what? I really wasn't sure.
Yeah.
Because you don't know what they looking for.
Yeah.
It was so many different girls, and it was very intimidating.
Really?
Very intimidating to say the least, because one, I knew I was attractive, but at the same time, I was comparing myself to all these chicks in the line. You had chicks from everywhere. I was standing in line with a girl who was from London. She came all the way from London to do this audition to Atlanta. I'm thinking to myself, are you crazy? But then again, once you become an entrepreneur, you see what her mindset is. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
If I just get in that one person's
you don't
face,
need that one door.
that's all you need. One door, that one person to see that I got the potential and the talent to do this.
Yeah.
Same thing. I compare myself to what I thought I was when I first met Benet. She saw something in me that I didn't even see in myself, that some people didn't see in me when I was standing in front of them. And she was able to tap into what I had, and she brought it out of me.
Brought that out.
I took what she showed me I had, and I ran with it.
You ran with that thing.
The blessing behind that is now I'm eating off of it. Now I'm able to provide for my family off of it. Now I'm able to do what I love every single day and not punch a clock or go into a job where I'm miserable at. I worked at Mobus for 5.5 years. A lot of people have no idea, while I was working at Mobus, I was still training on the side. This was before I got my gym.
Okay.
God kept giving me this dream, man. And all of my clients were coworkers.
Okay.
So it worked out really good, because how it was they worked on the same shift with me. So we had rotating shifts. So 1 month we'll be on a first shift. Next month we'll be on the second shift. Next month we'll be on the third shift. Man, that was the most tiresome thing. For anybody that got babies working a rotating shift, I feel for you, dog. I have been there. I have been on the other side.
Let me tell you something, man. I worked at at Milliken.
My dad was out there.
For 2 weeks, though. I ain't give him 2 weeks, dog.
That man said 2 weeks.
I ain't give him 2 weeks, dog.
2 weeks,
2 weeks, yeah. I gave him 2 weeks.
Man,
so I salute that 5 years, dog.
I'm telling you like this, dog. Ain't nobody there because they want to be there.
Right.
You feel me?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's so many people out there in Mobus, not just Mobus. All these people have so many talents. They sleeping on their talents.
Yeah.
Or they're waiting on their talent to take them somewhere, and nobody knows that they have the talent. You understand what I'm saying? Because they have gotten so comfortable and complacent with a job that has made them feel like you need this job. And I tell all my clients, I tell so many people now that I come in contact with that have a gift, I'm like, man, step out on faith.
Step out, man.
Because don't let these people make you think that you have to continue to work for them,
right,
and make money for them when you making pennies with them, when you could be making so much more for yourself.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, God kept giving me this dream while I was at Mobus, and it was so crazy to me because I was like, I got this dream, and this dream is me in a gym with loud music. And I was like, you know, what is this about? You know, I understood what the dream was, but I was so scared.
Right. So let me ask you this though. I'm back up a little more. Okay, so at the time of the dream, you know what I'm saying, were you and Benet, I mean, you were training her then, or you?
I was still training with her, but she was venturing off into other things.
Okay.
She was getting more into acting.
Right.
She was trying to broaden her horizon with the things. She was kind of getting a little lack with training because she was her mindset wasn't there anymore.
Yeah, she pursuing something else.
Pursue different things, you know. And sometimes you can get a little burnt out with it too.
Most definitely.
You need a little break. So she took a break and she started pursuing her acting dream, and it was going very well for her at one point in time. But I knew that I needed to do something else. I actually got married before I actually ended up leaving her.
Okay.
I got married in 2014. Shout out to my husband,
There you
Jesse
go.
Shakespeare.
Yeah.
At work right now.
Yeah.
Grinding. And I got married, and maybe like 3 months after I got married, I decided to move to Columbus with him because we were actually living separate. He was still living in Columbus, and I was still living here, working with Benet, and I was still training at working at Mobis as well. So it was becoming a lot. And then I have a 3-year-old at the same time. So it was a lot.
So now you like, oh my God, now I'm juggling.
Yeah, juggling was an understatement.
Right.
Becoming Houdini.
Yeah. I did think,
It was crazy. I was tired. I was more than exhausted. But you know what? Let me tell you how God works, though.
Okay.
It's so crazy. The same dream he was giving to me, he was giving to someone else that was in close proximities with me, that worked in the same gym with me and Benet.
Wow.
But we never were connected with each other like that because she was an up-and-coming trainer as well. And so we never vibed in there.
Okay.
So one day I was in Planet Fitness training class. I used to sneak in Planet Fitness and train. Shout out to Planet Fitness. They didn't know what I was doing in there.
I mean, sneaky.
But I was doing it.
Yeah, little sneaky action. Yeah.
Hey, man, I was getting some great results, too.
Right. Sneaking on that Planet action.
I ain't had no spot.
Yeah, do
and
gotta
then
do.
when it got cold, see, we was outside at Granger Park. We was at Granger Park. I was grinding at Granger Park on the weekends, Friday and Saturday. You know, some people see me out there. I was doing $5 classes out there, $10 classes out there. But I was out there every Friday and Saturday. Rain, sleet,
out
cold,
whatever,
getting it. Yep.
Yeah.
You out there with me, we was gonna get it.
Yeah.
And I was right there in the trenches with you. So, but when it got cold, I had to take them inside. So I was like, man, how I'm gonna do this? So I was like, oh shoot, Planet Fitness, they ain't gonna know what's going on.
Right.
But we were all coming in at the same time.
At the same time. Were y'all deep though?
Yeah, I'd be like 9, 10 of us in there. I like these folk gotta know something.
Right.
And the dude that was working there, he knew what was going on. He was snitching on me. I ain't gonna call his name, but it is what it is.
You ain't gonna name drop it.
I had met up with the girl who was actually with Benet, and she had already left from working with her.
Okay.
So she was now working in Planet Fitness.
Okay.
And she shared, I was talking to her, and I was like, man, I keep getting this dream. And she said the same thing. She said, girl, I've been getting this dream also. And we both shared the dream, and it was the same dream.
Identical joint?
Yes.
Whoa.
This is like God.
Whoa.
This is not us.
Whoa.
This is all him. And I was like, that is so weird that you
Yeah.
have the same as that dream. And I said, not only do me and you have the same as that dream, my client has told me the same thing, that she's had this dream. Like I was going to be in this studio with loud music, and we was just getting it, in there grinding. And I was like, so we actually sat down and we talked about opening a business together.
Okay.
And we was like, okay, let's go ahead and try and find a spot. So we went looking, and we found a location that was very small, but at the same time, I felt like this was going to be a great starting point. And we were actually over there by the hospital, across from, next to Peking. You know where Peking is?
Is that, it's not Vernon, is it?
Yes, Vernon Road. Yep. Right off Vernon Road. We were at the bottom level.
Yeah.
And we had that spot. It wasn't even, that thing wasn't even 800 square feet. That thing was so small, but I promise you we was jumping in that thing. And we really outgrew it within the first 2 months.
Shut up.
Of being, it was just crazy. The love that people showed in LaGrange. How well they received us, it was amazing.
Wow.
It was amazing. And I wanted us, I was trying to find us a bigger spot.
Okay.
Found us a bigger spot, but the money that man wanted for that building, I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I'm like, Jesus, where is this money gonna come?
Right.
I just didn't see it. But he was like, well, I got another building that I can show you that's a lot smaller, but you might be able to maneuver some things around. So he showed me the building, and I was trying to, when he took me in, I was like, I don't know how this is going to work, because they were offices. Every room in there were offices. So I was like, how am I going to do this? And so I started asking him about the renovating part of it.
Okay.
I was like, okay, so can we knock these walls out and these walls out and these walls out? He was like, yeah, you can do that. You can do that. That's no problem. So when he said that, I was like, let me get with my girl and see if she's willing to,
swallow that red pill.
Right.
Yeah.
She was not. She was not. She did not like the location.
Right.
I liked the fact that we was ducked off in the cut. She did
Right.
not like that. She
Right.
did not like the building. She didn't see the actual vision I had for that. Then too, I actually thought that maybe she wasn't feeling the whole training thing no more because it was kind of like subsiding with her. As I was growing, she wasn't as into it as I was anymore. So I started to see that our desires were different.
Yeah.
So instead of me just walking away, I did have a grown woman sit down, talk
Right.
with her. I did not part ways on bad terms.
Right.
We did talk about the situation, parted ways, and I decided to go on my own. Now, mind you, you're going to have some growing pains in business.
You're going to have some now.
You're going to have a lot
Yo,
of
but I'm going to say this, though.
Go.
Man, one thing about, whether it's friendship or partnership, and you just experienced it, it's about seasons.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Everybody served their season. So you and her had y'all season.
Right, we had our season in business. I still love her, still respect her. Shout out to my girl, you know who you are. And I do still think that one day we will come back together and do business again. I still love her dearly. Still love her kids dearly. Still love her grandbabies dearly. But that season was over. I did get that building that I showed her. I renovated that thing. I mean, I brought it from the dirt. That thing.
Yo, so when you walked in, did you have a idea of what you wanted to do?
Yeah.
Or did it go bit by bit?
No. I seen
You
what
already knew.
I seen the potential. I seen the potential. I knew it was going to take a lot. I knew it was going to take a lot of money. I knew it was going to take a lot of time.
Yeah.
When I moved to the other location, I actually thought that the response was going to be a little bit different, meaning that everybody that we had at the old building was going to come over there right away. They did not. I actually declined a lot. I lost a lot of people when I moved. Yes.
So I mean, cause the distance or the.
I don't know if it was the location or just the fact that things were changing. Because, not everybody can deal with change.
Everybody don't like
a lot.
change.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people can't deal with change too much.
Right.
And then sometimes people can't see your growth. They don't want to see your growth. You understand what I'm saying?
I'm with you.
So as time progressed and I started to grow, God put me in a season where I had to kind of like be by myself.
Okay.
So and I think it was just to see how bad I wanted it.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
So when I was there and I'm trying to get the building together, I did not have a whole lot of equipment.
Yeah.
We split the equipment up when I decided to part ways and go over. I had to literally piggyback up, like start buying piece by piece again, waiting till I had seasons of so let me tell you something I started doing.
Yeah,
I said, I know I'm gonna need a lot of money to get this building where I want it to be.
Right.
So what I started doing was I started running specials back to back to back to back. I didn't care how much money I was losing.
Right.
I was literally like, I'm gonna run these specials till I get the money I need to get this place
To take care of that
renovated.
building, yeah.
Soon as I got that first bit,
Bow.
called my girl. I was like, hey, I need such and such painting. I need you to come over here, give me an estimate. She gave me the estimate, told me what she was going to do and how much it was going to cost. Boom. Okay, I got that out the way.
Run it.
That first started. Then I was like, okay, I had to get some decorating going on. I was like, because I knew where I wanted my stuff to go with the building. I knew how I wanted to decorate it. I have an eye for it. I just can't do it. I was glad I had that talent to draw and do all that stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't have that talent. So what I did was I contacted a girl that I know. Shout out to LaToya Huzzy. She is absolutely amazing.
She's dope.
Y'all looking for her to design,
dope.
interior decorate, anything. She is amazing.
Most definitely.
And she definitely did an amazing job. Everything that I wanted, everything that I asked her to do, she did.
Wow.
Color scheme, all. Everything that... even down to the flow, like everything on the floor that I asked her to draw, right, whatever, she could do it, and it was perfect. It actually went with who I was, so it was a great thing, and it actually looks beautiful in there. But now I've outgrown that building,
Really?
so it's like, just when I thought that I couldn't get no better, God is still growing me. He's still testing me to see, where I want to go. He's still stretching me. He's showing me that I have more in me than what I'm limiting myself to.
Yeah.
And I'm actually trying to get some things together now. So everybody be on the lookout for some virtual cardio classes because they are coming very soon.
Okay.
I'm creating different meal plans for people that are not so into the strict meal plan. I have a lot of clients that think that they can still eat what they want and lose weight. And I'm having a hard time with some of these jokers that think they can follow a meal plan for 3 and 4 days and just say, forget it on the weekend. It's not like
that. Weekend being your weekend.
Boy,
that's it.
It is killing it.
Yeah.
It's killing it for a lot of them. And the alcohol too.
Yeah. The weekend. Listen, we all know what the weekend can do to somebody. Absolutely. And man, the weekend can take your head off if you don't watch out.
It can destroy a whole week's worth of you being strict and sacrificing everything for that 1 week. You can fuck it up in 1 day.
Yep.
It's like they don't even care.
Yep.
And then when they come in and get on the scale, they like, I didn't know that I did all. What you mean? Yes, you do. You know exactly what you did.
You know what you ate.
Why we sitting up here looking cross-eyed on this scale? You know what?
Right.
Man, it's crazy. It's like, okay, so, I have restrictions for them. Okay. My coach got the same restrictions for me. Mm-hmm. So, you know what I'm saying? If I'm not practicing what I'm preaching to y'all, I'm getting chewed out just like y'all been getting chewed out to me.
Same way.
You know what I'm saying? It's no different.
Yeah.
Because you are paying me, you're trusting me enough to get you to where you need to be physically. Mm. I'm trying to get you there mentally so both can connect and you can get to where you're trying to get to. But a lot of them sometimes don't always take it as serious as they should.
Well, I mean, it's something I always say. It's about, I said it earlier, it's about swatting that red pill. Mm-hmm. And the red pill is commitment.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Whether of course in my gym, we train athletes, you know what I mean? But they got to have the same commitment to the grind.
That's very true.
You know what I mean? A lot of people struggle with that part of it, the commitment outside of the walls.
Yes,
you know
sir.
what I mean? So you're right about that.
I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, like, I'm on a strict meal plan right now, and I'm still 17 weeks out from a show. You understand what I'm saying? Mm. It's a commitment that you have to have that mentality, dog. Yeah. I'm telling you. Yeah. If your mentality is not there, you're not going to do it. Yeah. You have to understand, I'm making 2 separate meals in a home.
Well, see, I was about to ask you right there.
Yes, sir.
If you don't mind, man, tap into you preparing for a show.
Oh, my God. So I have to buy food for them and my food for myself. On Sundays, I make my meals. Okay. My food is ready for the entire week on Sunday. Okay. I don't sit up there and say, I'm finna make my food every day because I don't have that kind of time.
I'm about to say, man, and plus I tell clients all the time, man, your days are unpredictable.
Exactly.
You feel me?
Exactly.
Like,
so if you don't take that 1 day out that you have to yourself to go ahead and prep your food, man, all it's gonna take is one thing to throw you off, and you're gonna be like, you know what, screw that meal. And you need it. Yeah. And you need the food. Like, what are you setting up here skipping meals for? Yeah. And up here talking about it's too much food, which is a lie, because it's just not what you want at the time.
That's what it
you
is.
Understand?
It's all about them numbers.
Yeah, we'll sabotage your diet in a minute just because we don't really want to eat what's on that plan because we want something else that we want. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I could tell clients all day long, don't eat no romaine lettuce. Don't eat no cabbages. Yeah. They still sitting up there. It causes water retention. Oh, no, it don't. Oh, they do. Yes. What are you shocked for? You are not shocked about that. I'm trying to talk to you about I'm trying to tell you what's better. And instead of them doing what I'm telling them to do, they want to do what they want to do.
End of the day. End of the day. So, So let's tap into more about their prepping, okay? Okay. Mm-hmm. So you say how, 17 weeks away? You say 17
I'm 17 weeks out right now.
Okay, so in your past competition, man, take us through you preparing physically, mentally, and like I say, eating.
First 2 weeks are always the roughest. I can follow that meal plan the first week with no problem. By second week, I'm struggling.
Really? Really?
And that's the honest to God truth. Yeah. By the second week, I am struggling.
Yeah.
But then I have to remember and remind myself what I'm getting ready for.
Okay.
And this is what everybody that's talking about getting into competition should be thinking like. The person that you're going to be standing next to when you get on stage. Those people could have outgrinded the hell out of you. Because you got to remember, this is a body comparison competition. Yeah. This is a body how hard did you really work? How much time did you really put in? Okay. Do you know how long I've been trying to get a pro card?
Man.
So your mentality really got to stay focused on that. I have seen some guys. I seen a guy that just got his pro card. This man been at this for 20 years. You understand what I'm saying? He just got it.
Why does it take so long to achieve something like
body
that?
development.
End of the day.
Body development. People think that muscles come overnight. It's a consistency. You gotta be consistent.
Yeah.
It took this man 20 years. This man been doing this since he was 17 years old.
That's crazy.
Man, 37 now. He started competing when he was 17. He's 37 now and just finally got his pro card.
Wow. So I mean, it because he lost focus doing that way? I mean, what?
No, he continued to grow. He had to continue to put size on. It takes time.
Yeah.
It takes time.
Yeah.
Muscle development does not happen overnight. And a lot of people have in their mind that it's going to come within 10 to 12 weeks. And it doesn't always happen that way because everybody's body not set up like that. Now, me, I naturally have a athletic body.
Okay.
I naturally have broad shoulders.
Okay.
I naturally have a V taper already. Okay. So it doesn't take a whole lot as far as me cutting my body fat down so you can see the definition in what I look like because I'm built like my father to a certain extent.
I'm with you, yeah.
Okay. I'm still curvy like my mom, but I still have some of my dad's features.
You's a hooper.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So, but some people don't genetically have that.
Yeah.
So some women and some guys have to literally get their body broken all the way down in order for them to get to where they need to be as far as having the symmetry, because it's a lot that goes into preparation and you getting ready for a show.
Wow.
You understand what I'm saying?
Wow. And I'm going to tell you something. I tell everybody this, man. You know what I'm saying? I salute individuals who get on that stage.
Oh yeah,
because I don't understand because I ain't never went through the whole process, but I see it from outside the door. Yo,
it's a lot. It's a lot of dedication. It's a lot of determination. It's a lot of sacrificing. It's a lot of time away from family because I'm on 2 days of training. So mind you, I'm training clients, but I'm also
give me that.
I'm on 2
days.
I'm on 2 days. I might have fasted cardio in the morning and I have my workout later on in the day. I still have to train clients in between that. So I still have to focus on them while still trying to focus on myself. So that means Christian has to make sure she has her food with her, her snacks with her that are allowed.
Yeah.
Her BCAAs, her aminos, her glutamine, all of that got to be there. And I do. I'm sitting there training them and eating my food like I'm supposed to.
So let me ask you this though. You know what I mean? Okay, by you know what I'm saying, being a trainer, you know what I mean? Because you do aerobic class and you in that with them.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, so tell me, how do you balance that and also being able to get stage ready? You know what I mean?
Okay, so it's a balancing act. It's just like life. It's a balancing act. Okay. So when I'm getting ready for competition, on the days where I have my aerobics classes, which is normally on Tuesday and Thursday, y'all come check your girl out.
Hey, go see what's up, baby.
Tuesday and Thursday at 5 p.m. Only $10 to join the class. You will not be sorry. We are lit. Getting it. But anyway, so on the days where I have the aerobics classes, those classes, I do not do fasted cardio. Because I know that I have that.
You finna get your cardio in.
Right.
There we go.
You gotta find a balance.
Yeah.
So on the days where I do have those classes, I'm not doing my fasted cardio early in the morning because you're gonna take off too much. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to burn off of too much of what you're taking in because the food is helping you build your muscle as well. And you don't want to experience muscle breakdown because you can have muscle breakdowns. It's a lot that goes into this stuff.
But I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. That's why I said 1,000,000 times. I salute stages because I know now. If you give me your input on this, for a average person who just want to get in shape, it's a completely different commitment to somebody who trying to get on stage.
Exactly.
Completely different commitment.
It's a whole different type situation and a lot of people they undermine it because they're on the outside looking in.
Yeah.
I had a chick contact me before, and she's talking about how she wants to compete and she wants to compete so bad, and I actually had a heart-to-heart with her because I really wanted her to understand what it is she's trying to do. You understand what I'm saying? Because there's different categories that you can get into. They have NGA, they have NFC, they have so many different organizations that they're adding to the different programs. I compete in NPC, which is National Physique Committee, and which is the first one of bodybuilding that they started. Now they've had other people piggyback off of it, NSGA, different organizations or whatever, where they have the ones where You don't get tested for steroids,
Right.
and they have the ones where you do.
Okay.
I used to compete in the one where you did get tested to make sure that you're not taking
Make
any type of
everything-
steroids
yeah.
or anything like that. But NPC is the one that's most respected.
Really?
Yes, it's the one that most respected. But all of those competitors that are in NPC, a lot of them are on steroids.
But you got to think about something, man. For a lot of time, it go back. We said earlier, it's that look test, and you already know what steroids gonna do to you now.
Exactly.
know what
But
I
you
mean?
got to also understand, too, not all steroids are bad
Created
either.
equal.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You got to do your research.
Yeah.
You got to do your research. But you also have to understand, too, those competitors are not staying on that stuff year round.
It's cycling.
There are,
Yes.
just said it.
Yes.
Cycle on, cycle
Yeah,
on. You
yeah.
cannot stay on that stuff year round. You are not gonna stay jacked the whole
Right.
year. Something wrong
Right.
with you. You staying
Right.
jacked the whole year.
Right.
That's why they
Right.
have stages of where they're super ripped and they're shredded. Well, I'm super ripped and shredded, and then they have stages where I'm fluffy. You know
Bucket
what
up
I'm saying?
kind
Right. Right.
So okay. All right now. So what made you want to do that though?
I didn't want to.
Really?
Benet talked
Benet.
me into it. Yes, sir. She asked me for 5 years, and I said no.
So
No
okay.
one
Well,
reason
so
why.
let me stop you there though.
Go ahead.
Okay, so what made you say no? I mean, is it because you didn't want to get on the stage, or you didn't want to go through that whole
No,
process?
neither one.
Really?
The stereotyping. The stereotyping. And I'm not knocking nobody that does this cross dress and all that stuff, but I have been told that I look like a guy. I have
up.
been approached and people really think that I'm transgender. And I'm
Shut
like,
up.
no, I am a whole female. Like,
My dog said a whole female.
a whole female, like
Yeah.
a real woman, never had a sex change or anything,
Yeah.
but it's the world we live in. I remember, and I remember this early in me competing. Me and my cousin was actually at Cumberland Mall. I'll never forget it. And we were walking in the mall, and I had on this fitted outfit, you know, that really showed off my definition. And
Yeah.
yes, I was very muscular. And somebody shouted out, "Hey, that's a dude!" And I'm thinking to myself, "No, the hell I'm not."
Man, no.
But that I experienced that a lot.
Really?
I experienced that a lot.
So how do you combat that mentally though?
It took some time.
Okay.
It took some time. It bothered me at first. But once you learn who you are and you know whose you are,
Yeah.
it's no longer an issue.
No more.
It's no longer an issue. Once you become comfortable with the skin that you are in, you like,
Man, whatever.
it is what it is. If
Yeah.
you think I'm a dude, then okay, that's a great compliment to my muscles.
Right.
Because
Right.
half of the
Because
ones
I'm
saying
working
it ain't
over
got
here.
the first muscle in sight, but they calling me a man.
Calling you a
know
man.
what I'm saying? And I've
Yeah.
had a lot of females say that I look like a guy as well. I've had some clients come in, they don't think it's an insult, but the first thing they holler, "I don't want to look like you now." Do you hear yourself?
Right,
Like,
right.
But if
Right.
I were to say, "Well, I don't want to look
I look
like
like
you,"
you.
the first thing they're gonna be ready to do, she was up there talking
Man,
crazy
she
to me.
disrespected me. Yeah.
You feel me? So
yeah.
it's like you got to choose your words wisely and know how to talk. You know what I'm saying? Because they'll say certain things to me and be disrespectful, but expect me to turn my cheek. But when I get back the same way that they got to me, they are like, you know, I'm supposed to turn. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm not supposed to say
You
nothing
want to
back.
say that
Now.
back.
Shit.
Say not you.
They got the right one
right,
today.
right. You got the right one today.
Boy, it's crazy.
So okay now. All right. So let's go back a little more.
Okay.
All right. So now, give me your first time you on the stage. Give me them nerves.
Oh my God.
Give me them nerves.
Man, I thought I was gonna shit a brick.
Really?
I was backstage, and you know, back then when I was competing and Benet was helping me get ready for shows, man, she wouldn't let me eat for 2-3 days before I got on stage.
So you stay
And-
lean?
Yeah, no, that was also to water deplete.
Yeah.
Which is not healthy.
Okay.
But that's how they did it back then. As time has progressed and I've gotten, you know, more into the bodybuilding,
Yeah.
you don't have to do that.
Okay.
Of course, we do not starve ourselves. Now we do have cutoff days or cutoff times for our water right before we about to get ready to go on stage. So say for instance, if I got a show on a Saturday, my water would be cut off at 1, maybe 4 p.m. On that Friday. And I would have my water pills before I stopped drinking the water, and after that, No more water, but you'll still get your food to a certain period of time. Your food probably might be cut off around 7 or 8. And you won't get anything else until that morning, and it's going to be something light. Like it might be, you might get 3 ounces of coffee, black coffee at that, and 1 meal, or he might give you a gulp of water.
That's it.
And I mean a gulp.
That's all you gonna get.
A tablespoon of water, and you got to eat your meal and swallow it with the spit in your mouth. Before you get ready to go on stage.
Man.
But what it does, it helps with the vascularity, makes your veins pop out more, it makes your muscles pop out more. You notice the changes once it's done. I remember one day he had one show, he had me, and I don't drink. I've never been a drinker. So this man had me, and I told my husband, this is so funny. I had called him the couple days before I left to go on stage. I was going to go to Miami Nationals. And I said, babe, I need you to go to the liquor store and I need you to get me some shots of vodka and a bottle of red wine, dry red wine. And he was like, what the hell you need this for?
He confused me.
Yeah, he confused me. Like, what the hell you need this for? And I was like, Law said I need it. So, I don't question anything my coach tells me. I really trust him. I think he knows what he's doing. So I'm about to get ready to go on stage. I ain't had shit to eat. But some 3 tablespoons of damn peanut butter, a rice cake, and two big spoons of strawberry jelly. And this motherfucker said, take two shots of your vodka. I was on stage drunk as a motherfucker.
You lying? You lying.
Man, I was there.
Stop, dog.
Quarter turn to the right, I almost fell.
You lying.
They ain't know though.
What I'm saying.
I was hitting them poses. Right. I'm telling, hey, I look great.
But I'm saying, though, I mean, did you ever find out the science behind that?
Yeah, I'm telling you, the vascularity, it makes your veins pop out more, but it also made my shoulders was out.
So that vodka turned you up.
Yeah.
Turned your body up.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
See?
Because you're going to go flat. You're going to have
y'all, let me say something now.
Flat.
She ain't saying go drink some vodka tonight, y'all.
No. That is definitely not what I'm saying.
She ain't saying go hit them shots, baby, get them veins out.
He had me, hey, dog, I was tipsy as hell on stage.
Tips.
I was so glad when we got off stage because I knew I was going to get a meal.
Yeah.
To sober the fuck up.
Okay, so look though.
Soak this shit up now.
Okay, so give me this. Give me your, once you finally get on that stage, you don't grind out. Mm-hmm. Give me that reward meal.
He always tell us not to pig out. So
really?
Our meal after we get off stage is normally pizza. Because we've deprived our body of carbs for months. Yeah. Carbs and sugar and all that stuff. So he'll give us a Diet Coke, no ice.
No ice.
Or if he want to be funny, he'll let us get some ice in it.
Yeah.
So we don't have that much Diet Coke.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But other than that, our meal after competition is not that heavy because you don't want to blow back up. You understand what I'm saying? You can't consume too much water, although your mouth is super dry, you super dehydrated. And that was one thing I used to do really bad after a show.
Okay. After
a show, because I wasn't taught that. After a show, I would go right back into diving in on sweets and everything because that's my vice. Sweets, sodas. I love Dr. Pepper. I love Sprite. Yeah. Man, I sat up there and I would down a 2-liter after a show because I was so dehydrated. But I wasn't taught properly as far as don't go over there and do that in excess because not only are you going to blow back up, you're going to have to work extra hard to get back down to size to get ready for this next show. So it takes time. It's a process. It's a learning experience. You're going to continue to learn throughout the whole process.
Because you got to learn your body.
Yes, that's it. Once you learn your body, then you kind of know what you can and can't do to it.
So okay, now, okay. Now, to some of your clients now, do they desire to go on stage?
I've had only maybe 1 or 2. Okay. I have some that say that they have the desire to go on stage, but when I tell them what all they're going to have to do, that shit change so quick. It's like, nerp. I'll leave that way.
I ain't gonna front, man. What's her name? I can't think of her name, man.
Celeste?
Not Celeste. It's a white lady, man. I see her stuff on Facebook all the time. And she saw me at the rec center one time. Mm-hmm. I can't think of her name, man. But she posts, I think she about to get back on stage now. I can't think of her name. But anyway, she had mentioned it one time, Kane, you should train to get on stage. You got the broad shoulders. I said, well, you gonna tell me about the grind and commitment?
Process, Change your mind quick.
Kane wasn't ready for it. Cause again, like, could that really not a desire of me?
Right.
You feel me? You know what I mean? And so I said, yo, I see what you're saying.
I honestly could see you doing it though. I could see you doing it, and it would take your mind somewhere else.
Really?
Like you would turn into a show enough beast.
Shut your
because
mouth.
you already got this going on with the teenagers and stuff.
Yeah.
And that could be another avenue you could lead them into too. You know what I'm saying? Just say, for instance, they may not want to play sports anymore,
right?
Or they gotten to a point where they've outgrown the sports thing, but they still want to rock with you.
Yeah.
Lead them into that direction. Changes their focus. Changes their focus. Changes their thought process. Keeps them out of trouble and keeps them more into the gym.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Gives them another outlet, another avenue to keep them from venturing off into some stuff that they don't need to be doing.
Yeah.
Right. Because you are a huge platform to me in this area because a lot of kids, they love you.
Yeah.
And you know what you doing with them, you helping them with their self-esteem and everything.
Yeah.
I mean, I see it.
Appreciate that.
I see it with a lot of them.
Yeah.
The parents, they love you. They gravitate to you. I love you just off of your videos you post. I be dying laughing.
Look, I'm gonna tell you, man, that's why I couldn't wait for the day, man.
Especially
I know
on
we gonna wild out.
Fridays when you be doing them thrillers, I be dying like this fool.
Friday my dance day, baby. Nothing to do, dog. I be here chilling.
In here playing.
You know, yes. All the kids be in the school. I be like, boy, I feel like a fool.
Yeah.
So that's what I do. You know what I'm saying?
It be so funny to me. I love to watch it, man. I be in here dying.
Man, I'm gonna tell you a funny thing ever, though, dog. This is a funny thing ever. So recently, man, I was timing my athlete. I don't know if you saw that video. And so last month, kids was running like in the 10-yard splits, like 1-3s, 1-4s, like this NFL time. I'm like, man, something ain't right, man. So, you know what I'm saying? So I didn't post nothing on Instagram. I was like, something ain't right, man. Kids fat, but they ain't running on NFL time right now. These jokers 10th, 11th grade, 12th grade. So anyway, dog, so one of my trainers, shout out to my trainer, man, B. So now, I know he wasn't fast. He ran a 149. I said, hold up, man. Something ain't
chilling
right.
outrunning you is.
Nah, something ain't right, dog. So I called the company. I said, yo, I'm timing these kids on this timing thing. Everybody running crazy times, like 1.3s, 1.4, like this NFL time. Because the highest time in NFL last year was 1.43. So I know these kids were running that. And he ran a 1.49. Something ain't right. So make a long story short, come and find out, I was timing them wrong. Look, though, and I put a post out and said, y'all, I apologize, y'all. I know y'all thought y'all was fast, but all of y'all are slow.
Man, I'm
so so they came back and ran them. So the guys who running 1.4s end up running 1.8s. Man. So I'm saying, like, dog, when I tell you, man, people were going crazy, laughing like Cole.
I am dying.
All excited.
I am dying.
But you feel me, though? So, man, it was so crazy,
Them children
man.
probably like, I'm finna go ahead and get ready for NFL.
But they thought they were there. You know what I mean? They thought they was already super fast already,
Oh, man.
Well, that's
Too
crazy,
funny.
though. So listen, though. Okay, so let's talk about, again, I love to see you, you know, when you be training, dog. How do you do that, bro? How do you train the way you train and keep that going? Like, other day, I was watching your video when you know, when you doing that live. Like, that's tough. That's tough what you're doing. Like, you know, so what I do, like, okay, my training is different. My training, man, we flipping tire, we running, we doing agility, all keg, all that kind of crap. But to do what you doing, that's tough.
It's a lot.
How did you condition your body to do that?
I've always had a lot of energy.
Okay.
Always. And a lot of people that know me from LaGrange know me as the girl that used to run all the time. Because I used to run all the time. We stayed over there by the stadium.
Yeah.
Callaway Stadium.
Yeah.
I used to run from the stadium to Moody Bridge Road every day. Back and forth every day. I started doing that when I was 14. And it's just always been a thing because I always had so much energy.
Yeah.
I always had a lot of energy. So when my cousin introduced me to Benet and I actually started helping her with her classes and went and started doing my own classes at her gym, it was nothing. It was nothing. But see, I don't just always do classes. I do train as well. That's how the body transformations come with the clients, because if I was just doing cardio classes with them, they wouldn't have much of a body transformation.
So let me say something, y'all. Y'all gotta understand something, okay? You get different and you can feel me on this, right? You get different transformations being in a group and being one-on-one.
Right.
You know what I mean? A lot of people think you can get the same looks that people get on one-on-one for doing group training. What I mean by group training, like for example, okay, the classes you do, okay, people going to get different physical results than what they would if they come to you and do one-on-one, correct?
Yeah, but I don't have any one-on-ones. This is the thing. I do group training all day.
No, I'm talking about as far as like the class you do live sometimes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Those are it's group with training and then it's group with the aerobics class.
Right.
What you talking about? Right.
Go.
It's two separate things.
There we go. Yeah.
And if and see, I don't have the time to do the one-on-ones with people because of the time frame, because I've cut my time down, because one thing I had to start understanding was my time was valuable and I couldn't keep on giving all of my time to my clients. I love them, yes, and I want them to succeed. But if I ain't got time for my family, oh my God, you know, you gotta learn a balance. So what I had to start doing was cutting my training hours down later, which it did make me decline a little bit with clients. But the thing about it is, where you might lose one, God's gonna bring 3 or 4, and they'll come in the time frame that they need to come in, because I could not continue to neglect my family. Yeah, you know, I gotta have time for my son. I gotta have time for my husband. I am a wife. You know what I'm saying? I do have a house I gotta clean.
Okay, so talk about that. You know what I mean? And so let me say something. So I had a guy on here one day, the owner of Chick-fil-A, Josh Sales, man. Shouts out to him. But he was talking about, and man, he was like talking that talk. He was talking about how life brings tension, right? I mean, just it can't, just like lifting weights. You know, if you bring that tension to your muscle to grow your muscles, right? And so he was talking about how, you know, I mean, you got to have time with your family. You got to have time doing your job. You got to have all that stuff. But you got to figure out how to. And he said, he don't use that word balance. He said, 'cause he don't think there is a balance, but it's understand the tension that each one of them bring to you. You know what I mean? So tell me if you agree with that.
I agree to a certain extent, because even with me saying that I have to find balance, sometimes I don't have the balance. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So you're just trying to figure it out. You understand? So being an entrepreneur can be stressful. Yeah. With what we do, not only do parents look up to you to help their kids, I have adults to do the same thing. You understand what I'm saying? Because some of those people have not come out of their shells yet. They are very timid and they're very shy and they're very scared to do a lot of things. They're scared to even say things. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And a lot of those energies that I come in contact with on a regular basis, they can rub off on you sometimes. You have to be able to read your clients. Yeah. I can read my clients like soon as they come in. If they got something that's weighing heavy on their mind, if they having some things that are going on at home and they're trying to mask it. You know what I'm saying? Hey,
you can feel all that stuff.
Come to my office. We need to talk real quick, because you're not going to have the most effective workout holding on to bad energy. Sometimes, you know, people have so many things going on. Death, man, you know, with COVID, it's hit us really, really hard. A lot of families have lost a lot of loved ones, and it has really caused a lot of my clients to struggle with them being focused, because COVID's knocking them out left and right. So, you know, trying to keep their mentality and their focus there and keeping them from not binge eating. Yeah. Oh my God.
So let me freeze you here, okay? You know, I'm seeing brought up COVID. What did 2020 do for you?
Brought out another hustle. Cause I promise you, I wasn't finna just lay down. Yeah. You know, when we had to close, we had to close. We had to close. So I had started working with TLC. Shout out to TLC. I was selling their all natural products, helping people, you know, that had diabetes and everything else going on with them, heart disease. You know, they had a lot of all natural detox cleansing products that were really good, things that your kids could take as well. But And I made a lot of money doing it because a lot of people trusted me with what I was doing. But I was using the products as well, and they were great.
Right.
But you also learn in leadership, some people have the wrong terminology of what leadership is, and they think that they can talk to you any kind of way and belittle you in some type of way. But what they fail to realize is I was a gangster and a hustler before I got with y'all, and I'm gonna be the same way when I get up out of there. So I had to part ways with them, but I do still like the company. I just didn't like the people that I was under, so I had to part ways. But I do plan on coming back, but just not under that same leadership. So they told me what I had to do was I had to wait a little while before I could join back in. Because I
like a year. I think when you leave it.
No, it was 6 months. They said so. I'm coming up on my 6th month, and but I made really good. Like I didn't really lack. I didn't lack, and I continued to do stuff with my clients. I kept them busy. I was on Facebook Live twice a day doing workouts with people. Keeping myself busy and trying to keep everybody motivated and energized with just staying healthy, because COVID had a lot of people sitting in the house for a minute. We couldn't do nothing.
It did,
and people were gaining COVID pounds at the house, and I even gained a couple of them. But I got this stuff right on back off because the girl was spreading.
She swear she was spreading.
I was spreading, man.
She swear she was spreading. But like even for me, man, it's a 2020. Like, excuse me, man. Man, 2020. And I don't know if it did. I'm sure it probably did something for you, man. But it showed me, man, that I spent a lot of time over here. You know what I'm saying? And so that shutdown really was good for me because I was like, damn, I'm at home.
I'm telling you,
I'm chilling with the fam.
I told my clients I was missing y'all, but I wasn't.
You was enjoying it.
I was glad to be at home.
Get a little break,
I was glad to be able to cook and be at the house with my family every single day. Cam would not have traded that for nothing in the world. My husband would not have traded that for nothing in the world, because he had me at the house. He had food ready as soon as he got home from work. He wasn't sitting there waiting on me to finish cooking. You know what I'm saying? It was our time. And if 2020 didn't show you anything, it showed you to learn how to value your family. And the time that you have with them, because nobody's promised tomorrow. Right. And they have, a lot of people have lost a lot of loved ones. I've lost some loved ones due to COVID. And I thank God that, I'm still here, and that, me and my husband and my child are still safe, and my mom and his mom is still safe. His mom and his grandma did get COVID. They were able to beat it. Thank you, Jesus. And they're back to normal. But, not everybody has that testimony to give. You know what I'm saying? Because it's been a rough situation.
That's true. That's true. So let me ask you this. Man, what's next for you, man? When you think about your life, when you think about, where you're headed, man, where are you headed, dog?
Wherever God leads me. Yeah. Wherever God leads me, because I had to get out of my own way. I tell my clients a lot of that. Sometimes we can say that we are ready for somebody to help us, and sometimes we are not. And I learned that I cannot do it on my own. I can't do it without him. I cannot do it without him steering and driving and leading me in the right direction, because my direction may not be the right direction. I want him to really take control of all of it, because if it was not for him, I would not be here. I would not be in the position that I am in right now if it were not for him. If I didn't have the support system that I had. A lot of people, don't realize that in entrepreneurship, sometimes you'll have those days where you feel lonely because you're having to do a lot of things on your own. And not everybody's going to believe in what it is you're doing. But you got to remember why you started. Remember why you started. Were you doing it just for the money, or were you doing it for the sheer reason or the passion that you had for it? And I still have the passion for it. I love it. I absolutely love it. I eat, breathe, I sleep this all day long. But when I'm home and I'm resting, I want to be home and rest. I'm not going to talk about this all day.
Turn it off,
I promise you, I'm turning it off. I'm not standing there talking to my husband all day about a client. I promise you, when he comes home, I'm going to ask him about his day, but it's us. We chilling. I'm watching ridiculousness, laughing my ass off. You know what I'm saying? I love to laugh. I'm on the phone with my mom 2-3 times a day. I'm in there messing with Cam and watching TikTok with him. You know what I'm saying? I'm normal. I am very normal. I love shopping online, stuff like that. It's I'm just as basic as anybody else. But when
Yeah.
it comes to what I'm doing and trying to perfect my craft, oh yeah, I read.
Lock in.
I read. I
Lock
make
in.
sure I research things. I try and make sure I am there for my clients as much as possible. But when it's time for me to chill, I'm chilling.
chilling.
That's it.
So, okay. So, man, if you had one thing, okay, to leave, with the listeners, what would that one thing be?
Follow your dreams. Do not let anybody, and I mean this with everything in me, don't let nobody make you think that you are incapable of doing more with yourself. I was at a job where they thought that I was not capable of doing more with myself. Nobody took me seriously or what I was doing seriously when I was working at Mobis until the day that I gave my 2 weeks notice. And even then they did not believe me.
They thought you'd be back.
They thought I was lying. Because I didn't tell nobody that I had my building until after we had already been renovating.
Yeah.
We had already been renovating for 4.5 months before I said a word. I kept it to myself.
You had to.
Nobody knew nothing. And I did it on purpose because not everybody believes in what it is you are trying to do for yourself.
That's real talk, though.
It's the truth.
That's real talk.
They're not going to see and understand what it is you're doing until you actually put it into action. Yep. I have a lot of people that are around me that even when you tell them, they got to still see it first in order for them to believe it. Yep. So instead of me telling you anything, I'm just going to show you.
Yeah.
I'm just going to show you what it is I'm going to do. And once you see it,
you be like, daggone.
Hello.
She said it.
Hello.
She said it.
I ain't gonna sit up there and harp about it and sit up there and try and hide who I am. I'm just gonna let you see that God is using me and He's using me in a way to help others. And I'm more than thankful that He is using me to help someone else, because it's a lot of people that didn't think that they could do it. They thought that it was impossible. But never stop what you're trying to do for yourself and to be able to help somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Just sometimes it's not always about you.
Right.
It's not always about you. And I'm just grateful.
Yeah.
I'm just grateful.
Man, that's
forever
what's
grateful.
up, man. I love it, man. Man, listen, man, I appreciate you for coming through. You know what I'm saying?
I appreciate you for having me, man.
You know it's all love, man. I'm just glad we were able to get together, man. You know we're gonna do more. We're gonna do more, man. Yo, Kristen, I appreciate you coming here.
Yes, sir.
Showing love, man.
Sir.
Everybody, man, I appreciate y'all for tuning in to another episode of KaneSaid. And y'all know my slogan, man. The fame is free, but the grind costs, baby.
That's right.
Yeah, zip them up.